Welcome to Colorful Journeys of Success. Listen to and watch our fascinating guests as they share colorful stories of success and how they help inspire. Now, here's Claire, the color wheeling lady and our host.
Welcome to Colorful Journey of Success. I'm so glad that you joined us because we have, I think, one of the most fantastic shows that I've ever done. In fact, I feel absolutely honored. I'm going to be interviewing a gentleman that I've known now for a long time, a very long time. He was my teacher, how to teach a television show and how to produce. And it's now big change. So it's my honor to introduce to you Bobby Chastain, right?
Nice to be here with you,
the
Claire.
New
Thanks for having me.
Wow.
Right.
Oh, wow. You know, like I said, I'm going to get a little emotional with this interview. So, and I'm so proud of you.
Well, thanks, Claire.
I am really proud of you. I've seen you grow, and it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. In fact, yesterday, this is very timely also because yesterday was Valentine's Day.
That's right.
And I had to give a little card to you, Bobby.
Should I open it now?
Yeah, sure, if you'd like.
Well, this is part of the show, right? But it's real also.
Yeah, it's real.
It says, listen, laugh, cry, sip, hug, laugh, repeat. Look at this. Oh, well, Claire. So this is signed by, the whole crew, huh?
The whole crew.
Well, thanks.
Right.
And you said, you changed my life. Love ya. Oh, Claire, that's so sweet. Well, thanks. And then look at this.
Yeah, little notes.
Well, that's very sweet. Thank you, Claire. Can I just put that right here?
Okay. All right.
It'll be a set piece. Well, thanks. Okay. I'll have a special place for that in my new office.
In your new office, right. Here, I'll take that if you want.
Thanks.
Okay, we'll just put this there too. Well, the turning point was when I came through that door after being so curious, but I finished the Toastmasters manual, How to Speak on Television. And 12 years ago, I walked through that door and Richard James was in the lobby. And he said, well, if you're curious, it feels really, really good. Anyway.
Richard James was a very special friend of the station, and we miss him very much.
Yes. It'd be nice to do a show on him, too.
Absolutely.
Well, now that you are the executive director, right?
That's right.
And you joined in 2000, the year 2000, 16 years later?
Yes.
Wow. You've really grown. So your title was, when you first began, 2000, was?
I was operations assistant.
Operations
And I reported to Lindsay Wong.
Okay.
And then he had a boss as well, Doug.
And then what were some other titles that you had?
I think all of the operations assistants decided that wasn't a very strong title, so we bugged Doug to change it to something along the lines of, studio, tech something or other. So we went with that. Media specialist. We went with media specialist for a while. And then after a while, when I went full-time, I kept media specialist. And then when Lindsay left, I took that title, operations director.
Okay.
So I've been managing operations for a while.
Well, now that you are executive director, you, I'm sure, have tremendous goals. But what is the mission? Well, let's talk about the station a little bit. How do you see the station, and describe the station, because some of our viewers might not realize how important this station is.
Sure, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions too about what it is. People kind of think of public access as being, like Wayne's World or, a very low budget way to make a talk show. So I guess I could start with the mission, which is to provide hands-on training and media education, and I can't get it word for word, but to narrow the digital divide. So it's to get people to learn more about technology that they might not have a chance to learn about other places.
Well, another thing that a lot of people are a little confused about, public access television versus community television. What are some of the PBS? What are some of the differences?
Well, and it's not wrong to say that we're public access. That is a big, major part of what we do, which is it's very open forum. People like yourself or people living in the community come in, they learn how to make TV shows, and then when they produce the shows, we put them on our channel. So that's the public access part of what we do.
Okay.
So we like to think we're more than that. We have production services that we can do that are very high-end and slick. We have very talented staff members that know how to edit and shoot in, you know, fully modern ways. And then we have staff-produced programming and a production truck, so we can cover community events, things of that nature, sports. And we also do a lot of education. That's really been our focus in recent years, working with middle schoolers, both at the station and on site. We go to schools, we work with YMCA, so we do a lot of outreach and media education all out in the community.
So is that how you saw KMVT Channel 15 when you first began?
Well, there was already some of that, but it was all mostly here and mostly for the public access, which will always be an important part to us. So I think at the end of the day, whatever we do, it's to keep this open forum going for people like you.
So if it's nonprofit television, right? Do you think at any point in time it's going to be commercial? Have commercial?
No, and that's a bright line. So it can't be commercial. So you know, it's partially we get some subsidizing and so on, and it's sort of in good faith and in the public trust. So it can't. We don't want people coming in to make infomercials or do anything commercial. And personally, I'm not interested in that either. You know, we'll find our way without it. That's too core to what our mission is, to not have any commercial content.
Okay, great. Well, what about memorable experiences for you?
Oh boy. So many, I think. I can't remember any right now.
Maybe a couple, anyway.
Well, sure. So, you know, we don't, another misconception is that we're a news station, and we're not. We do mostly this open forum part of it or community events. But every time there is a local election cycle, we kind of ramp up in a way that's very much like news, where it's very fast paced and we do it live and we bring different candidates and spokespeople in. So that's always really exciting. The first year that we did it from 2 locations, we took the truck out to City Hall and we had a live staging here also, and it was just, you know, very fast paced, and that whole night was really exciting. So anytime we get to do a live production, it's exciting.
That's amazing, absolutely amazing. So what are the major turning points? Definitely now becoming the executive director, right?
Sure, yes.
Okay.
I would assume so. You kind of, major turning points, I think you don't necessarily know them while they're happening. You kind of look back 10 or 16 years later, and then you could make some judgments on where the turning points were. So this feels like it would probably be a candidate to be a big turning point, but you know, we'll see.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. The major turning point for me was when I took the class from you several years ago, and you said to me at the end of the class, after 3 hours, and you just said to me, okay, what's the name of your show going to be? And I said, oh, well, I was just going to take the class. Yeah, I wasn't quite prepared for that. And I spit out Colorful Journey of Success.
This is very helpful, Claire, because I always want to get people to produce shows, and I don't know what it is that makes them do it, right, or not do it.
But then the turning point, this is the turning point, is you said, okay, good, you start in 2 weeks. I said, oh.
Wow.
So
that must have been scary.
It was, but I did it.
Yes, you did, and here we are hundreds of shows later, right?
Yeah, 140. This is show number 140.
Congratulations.
Well, it's been, the support team has been wonderful. So talking about support team, Colorful Journey is all about people's success story and who they're helping succeed. And so you fit that criteria perfectly. You absolutely do. You are, so the success story, your success story now is moving up in the ranks, right? Sure. And you're certainly helping all of us as producers. You're helping the community, and you're helping your staff. So who's your success team? Oh,
great. I love my success team. And it's more than, you know, just a few staff members, although they're also great. But I think it starts with the volunteers, and that's up to us on staff to make sure that the volunteers get trained and have a landing point and can fit in. So that's a big part of our success. So it's funny, kind of, it feeds, right? It feeds itself, because part of our mission is to train volunteers, and then we can't do all we do without the volunteers. So that cycle is kind of a neat thing. And then, of course, you know, obviously the staff is wonderful. You know, Mark and Christina, Renee, John, Edgar, Robin, you know, everybody comes in, Tim Erskine, they all come in and they all do a great job every day.
Well, I'm impressed, and everybody's been so positive. That's what I really, really believe and appreciate. So now, these programs that you're talking about, where can we find out about the programs?
Well, as always, the best place is on our website, which KMVT15.org. If you forget the 15 or the .org, you'll be some news station in Idaho, so that's important. And I'm sure Gordon will get that graphic in there, right? So, and we have a really great website that Mark Taylor built and Christina maintains, and all the information you could need to know is on there. Yeah. And then I would encourage anybody to come in and stop by to say hi. I'm glad to give a tour, ad hoc even, and we're in Mountain View near Crittenden School. So just drop on by. The signage is pretty good from the road there.
Yeah, it is absolutely. My friends came today and they were not lost. So, okay, steps to achieve. I'm a life planner when I'm not producing TV shows, and so the first 3 major steps that I encourage my clients to take are, first of all, to visualize, then to prioritize, and then to actualize. So taking those 3 steps as an executive director, what do you visualize?
That's a good question. I like your system. So I think I'm visualizing quite often, and people probably think I'm spacing out. So yeah, I'm sure I'm visualizing. I would like to continue to grow the station. Obviously, Shelley Wolf, who was before me as the executive director and was very supportive of me, left it in a very good place where we have all the equipment we need and everything's humming along. So I think now it's a time for growth. I visualize new programs, maybe things that are outside of the studio. So I think we can really do TV shows really well. I would like to teach more modern media. So maybe some filmmaking, maybe some video blogging. We just recently launched camps for kids in video games and comic book design. So just expanding the storytelling mediums that we use and teaching people to do those.
Okay. Well, kind of tie that in with Toastmasters. I brought these 2 magazines, Toastmaster magazines, and the reason I did that is because they have storytelling also, and I see Toastmasters and KMVT Channel 15 connected, because not only can they learn to tell stories, but learn to communicate, learn to present, and I see some really excellent opportunities there to combine and connect with Toastmasters. Well,
sure, bring Toastmasters over. We'll have a party. When I first started, Toastmaster had a show that aired on the channel. I don't think it was produced here, but I think they don't do that anymore. But for a while, Toastmasters had a TV show, and I think that could be a good fit for sure.
That sounds good.
I don't know much about Toastmasters, but you speak highly of them, so they're, any friend of Claire's.
Okay. Well, they started in Southern California. There, one gentleman started in California, and then he just met with his buddies. And a Toastmaster is a person who makes a toast at a dinner, right?
Oh, I've done that.
Okay. Well, now it's all over the world. There's clubs all over the world, and it's pretty exciting. I've been to 3 conferences that are just amazing. Egypt, all different countries, but I will talk about that. And you also asked me if I consider teaching a class how to produce a TV show, and definitely that's on my list and one of my goals for this year. Yeah,
you get all these great guests all the time. I was glad you were able to fit me in too. So there's some kind of secret sauce for your producing skills, because you always get very interesting people, and now me.
And you? Oh, what do you mean? Of course you. And you have so much to say. You really do have so much to say. Maybe you don't think you do, but you do. I mean, you are always involved. Anytime, like the last show that I had, I brought in a friend who was a guest from Airbnb, and now that would be a good show too.
Sure.
That would be a very
I'm sure you'll get to all of them.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, he was very impressed with you. He was from Dallas.
Oh, really? He was a nice fella.
Yeah, he was. So Okay, so challenges that you, I may have asked this question
No,
a
it's
couple
okay.
minutes ago, but challenges that you foresee.
Sure. So, there's always sort of the existential angst going on. It's like how important it is what we do, and you always want people to see the value in it. So, the challenge is growing the place, finding new ways to have income and stay true to the mission at the same time. It's a challenge because we want to stay non-commercial, and what right there, kind of as you visualize non-commercial, I kind of see dollar signs like running away, right? It's like, so we have to do that. That's the challenge, is to continue to be viable and healthy financially, and at the same time stay as true to the mission as we can.
Well, what about this location? Are we always going to stay at this location? Can you see us maybe moving to a larger facility? Or?
Well, that would be a nice problem to have. I think everyone wants more space at some point. Right now, I think we're okay where we are.
All right.
The facilities are really great. They're very tailored to us. It was made special when we moved from Ringstorf over to here. So it's been home for a while. And I think there's something to be said for staying in the same place. You kind of, people get used to where you are and comfortable.
Right.
So I wouldn't be eager to move, but I'm sure if we did, we can, because I saw it happen once from Ringstorf to here. So I know the light grid and all the equipment can be moved from one place to another, but it's not inexpensive and it's not a headache. So, it's not, I hope that doesn't happen anytime soon. This is my 3rd week as executive director. I hope like next month we don't have to pick up all our stuff and move somewhere.
Well, yeah, this is just kind of like a rehearsal, so next week we'll have another one, right?
Another...
You mean you don't want to do this next week too?
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, next week will be easy, because this one was hard though.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But if you see, is there any space where we can grow even here?
Physical space, yeah. So
can you take over another facility?
Potentially. I think before we did that, the office area where the cubes are, we've been talking about eventually turning that into a classroom area. So we have a lot of donated laptop computers, so we don't need to use the studio or the truck or the cameras to teach workshops now. Especially kids these days, they're all they learn real well on that. So that we could expand into that area. There's some more room. There's the old office in the back. We could possibly turn that into a small Studio B, but that would require some shifting some people around. But everyone seems to be excited, at least on staff, if we were to do that, to turn that space into not just an office area, but a functional learning area.
And just for the heck of it, just visions,
Sure.
and visions. Oh my gosh, that'll be really great. I'm thinking about how would we do that. And I have this vision, of KMVT channel 15 taking over the whole building.
Yes. Well, that would be great.
What do you think?
Sure, why not? I think maybe my vision,
Is
if we
that
were
a
going to
little bit too
expand,
much?
No, but I would say, how about take over a second building somewhere in Sunnyvale or Cupertino, another on-site studio, a second studio.
Oh, okay.
Because people don't, we serve not just Mountain View, and this has been our home for so long, but we're on in Los Altos and Cupertino and recently Sunnyvale. So we serve all these cities now. So how about as for a sort of pie in the sky goal, to have a second whole studio up and running in Sunnyvale one day. That would probably make you happy.
That would be nice, because I live in Sunnyvale.
Yeah, right.
That would be really great. That would be really great. Well, okay, we talked about, so you were talking about the vision. But, when we talk about the vision, that's great. But to move forward, to really succeed, you have to kind of prioritize.
For sure.
So, talk about your priorities right now.
Yeah, and this is something I'm learning as executive director is I got to scroll back 2 pages just to see all the emails I get in a day anymore. So it's hard to cover them. So you have to prioritize, right? And it's almost like more like triage, I guess, right? It's just you move forward with the ones that become urgent. I write a lot of stuff down now. I have a lot of lists. So and the current priorities are maintaining the services that we have. So I don't feel comfortable yet moving forward with the next thing until I feel like I have my head around the new job. So right now the priority is to train the people that are going to follow me in sports and training and the watching over the access folks, and at the same time learning the new job and all that entails. So I'm still, you know, like I said, this is the very start of week 3. So that's my priority, is just getting on top of this first hill. And then maybe I can see the next horizon. I can't yet, but you know, it's fun to talk about it. You know.
Yes, and I think that's really important, because in my training program, I say, okay, absolutely, don't ever do that. Don't prioritize before you visualize.
Sure, right. Yeah.
You have to visualize and have the big dreams, and then start taking all of those and kind of like fit them into little blocks. Okay, so then you establish, okay, so that's the plan, and for how many, I do every 6 months create life plans. And so then we have a plan, really plan. And so now you have to establish, okay, what are the steps I have to take to actualize?
And actualize, that's when you break ground, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so, okay, good. So I think this is a good, you know, brainstorming session. So maybe second studio down the road, and then we'll start prioritizing at some point.
At some point. Okay. The last, I'm going to race through to be successful. It's very, very important that after you actualize and you start going through this process, at the end of this 6-month period of time, if that's you have your list and you've accomplished as much as you can within a short period of time. Then analyze what you've done, what are the lessons you've learned.
Oh, analyze.
Analyze to see where you are at that point, and then it's so great to celebrate.
Well, sure, of course.
Your success.
Yes.
To really, really celebrate. It sounds like you're going to be doing fine.
Well, I hope so.
I'm impressed, and I think you're going to be.
I think the station is in a good place, and I feel that I've been able to help with that where it is now. I was made the joke before the show that even if I tried to mess up the station, it would take a while to do it because it's really in a good place. It's not, you know, I mean, we're over 30 years in the community, and you know, people, we're a trusted resource. We're, I like to think, beloved in the community. So, and great infrastructure, great volunteers, great staff. So like even if I was willfully trying to like take it into the ground, it would take a while. So
okay.
We'll be okay.
I feel confident.
Well, good.
I feel confident. Yes. And so, but one question I did not ask you when we first started this interview.
Pisces.
When you're growing up, okay, who was the significant mentor? Who taught you about being success?
When I was little.
Yes, when you were growing up.
Oh boy, I mean, obviously.
Did you have a particular teacher that?
Sure, yeah. Well, and I hadn't even thought of her for a long time, but my second grade teacher, Mrs. Humphreys, was kind of special to me, and I was in the second grade, and she made me go next door and to Mrs. Williams' class and read with the third graders. And that was very intimidating at first, but she pushed me to do little things like that. So yeah, Mrs. Humphreys.
Mrs. Humphreys.
That was I think that's the earliest success that I can envision right now, was reading with the grade higher than me when I was in second grade.
Yeah, I think that. Oh yes, and those teachers, they're so important. They're absolutely so important. And there's one lady that you forgot to mention on your success team.
Sure.
Your wife.
Oh, my wife, right. Well, the day after Valentine's Day.
I'm sorry about that.
It was all about KMVT. Well, so I met my wife at KMVT. She was actually, she went through the class also and was volunteer for when I would shoot sports. Excellent shooter. And then she produced a show here for a while called Silicon Valley Buzz.
Okay.
And yeah, then at some point, you know, we fell in love. And then I got married last year in September to Janet.
Janet. I was even thinking about maybe interviewing both you and her.
Oh, well, she probably would have got a kick out of that, so maybe next time.
Okay. Yeah.
She made me put this shirt on, so I was going to do it in my Warriors championship T-shirt. She said, "No, if you're going to be on TV, probably."
No.
She had the one picked up. I said, "Well, can you pick it?" And so this is Janet's.
Okay. Listen, I've got to wrap this up. Wrap it up. Okay, because
I love
this
you,
is
honey.
really important. So, but anyway, I definitely want the people that are watching to know you more personally and know more about the station. So thank you very, very much. Bobby.
Thanks so much.
It's so nice to have you. I love to hold your hand too. And happy Valentine's Day to you and Janet. And so I look forward to your future and wish you the best of luck. I really, really do.
Thank you, Claire.
And I'll be right there as your support anytime.
I appreciate that.
And if you'd like to be interviewed, please contact me at 6colors@sbcglobal.net. I hope you have a wonderful day and good luck to you in the future. Have a wonderful day. Bye.